Matt Klein is the head boys basketball coach at LCA. More importantly, he is a guy that says yes whenever I want to ask him some questions, no matter how lame-brained and off-base they are. Hopefully, these are on point. I talked with Coach Klein last week at Gretna High School as LCA was there for team camp. And Coach Klein and I chewed the fat on a few topics, including what is a teammate? What do you think of when you hear the word?
Well, one of our three core values is elite teammates. So you better be a young person that encourages, lifts up your teammates, and is there for them before yourself.
Outside of somebody you're coaching now, who is a guy that you saw either on a college or pro level maybe that you felt like, man, that's a good teammate, just from the looks of it?
Wow, that is a stumper.
You love it when I do this, I know.
I'm a big Bobby Hurley guy. I know he was kind of a pit bull, but he always got his teammates involved. I love watching him back in the good old days.
Relational. Tell me what the word relational means to you.
Relationship, I think it's when we'll say the relationship with a coach and a young player. You know, a coach that can, most importantly, get the most of him, coach him hard, and then love him up when he's not deserving of it. And, and being there before, during, and after basketball is there. And so just being a mentor, loving him up.
How many years has Matt Klein coached?
I think I'm at 19 right now.
Is Matt Klein different relationally from year 1 to 19? And what's the biggest thing you learned? And maybe who'd you learn it from, or when did you learn it?
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more compassionate, certainly more patient. But, loving the kids has never really changed. That's kind of who I am. I always go back to kids that work hard, that are good kids. That's easy to have a good relationship with.
Did the business world make you better relationally, or is it tougher relationally because of, obviously what you do for business, I'm assuming, is selling. So does that make it easier to be a relational or harder?
Yeah, that's a good one. Ultimately you're trying to find common ground. Obviously, when you're a head coach, you're doing everything you can to bring a group of 12, 13, 14 young men together for a common goal. In sales, obviously, you're doing what's best for the client before you're doing what's best for you. Certainly, you try to find common ground on things and likes, but relationships are genuine and organic. As long as you really care more about that person, then you're probably okay.
Outside of a relational aspect, what as a coach has helped make you a better parent and or spouse?
What I've learned in basketball and coaching is you're going to have really, really good days. You're going to have really, really bad days. You're going to have mediocre days. But ultimately, I can control what I can control. And that's my attitude, that's my energy, that's my effort. And so when I get home after a loss, shame on me if I'm not loving up my wife and loving up my kids. And same thing, if I have a bad day at work, shame on me for not coming into the gym and not pouring into those kids to get the most of them. So, yeah.
We've talked about some of your previous stops before. Real quick, what is one thing that John Windham helped make you a better coach?
Oh, man, John Windham.
Well, you brought him up before, not me.
He's the real deal. He is my first impression of a coach that found ways to win with less talent. And then I obviously working under Coach Nunley was the same thing. And so, and I'm not saying I've got less talent, believe me, but finding ways to get the most out of your guys, to eliminate some of the talent gap and athleticism gap. So, yeah.
What is something else Nunley did that maybe you didn't realize until you got to be with Nunley?
I think his attention to detail is like something I've never seen. His, obviously the X and O stuff and just, the ability to create offensive and defensive opportunities to give you success. But he was a mastermind, and but most importantly, I go back to relation. Like, he loves those kids that he coaches, and he loves his coaching staff.
You mentioned attention to detail. Has the buzzer sounded? So I just want to make sure we got the attention to detail out. Attention to detail, I think you talked about it. Nunley was a preparer is basically what I heard. But also attention to detail means you have to be an adjuster. Is there one that's more important in terms of preparing or adjusting?
Well, I think you got to do both. I mean, obviously you got to be prepared for first, second, third options and taking away a team's best whatever they do, and then ultimately they're going to change, and so how do you adjust on the fly? You got to have a great staff that sees things that you might not, whether it's small picture versus big picture. But you got to have courage to make an adjustment that might expose you, but at the end of the day, it's going to give you an opportunity to be successful.
Final question. Do you ever have to coach people down? And what I mean by that is coaching the anger out of them to where they can use their skills rather than their emotion.
I don't know about anger. I've got emotional kids like every coach does. I think coaching the selfishness out of them, and they're not doing it intentionally necessarily, but I'm having a bad game. I put my head down. I don't lift up my teammate, and so trying to get that out of them, and it's not easy, but we fight that battle every day, and we're fighting that today, and we'll be fine. We'll get through it.